What up friends, today I want to talk to you about sketching directly using the pen. What up friends, Liron here. Thank you for joining me in another video. I'm happy to have you, and I want to talk to you about something that I've been asked about quite a few times. I replied to comments about this, and this is the idea of sketching directly with pen. No guidelines, you go straight with the pen, not a pencil, a pen. I don't have a pen here, never mind, but you don't use this, you use a pen and you just sketch it out directly. Now, let me tell you a bit about why I think this is a really important skill to have as a skill, and also why it helps you with other skills. Okay, so when I started preparing for this video, I kept thinking about all the things that come to mind when I think about pen sketching and sketching directly with a pen, spontaneous sketching, any way you want to call it. And the words that came to mind, my association to this was looseness, freedom, boldness, courage, confidence, all sorts of things. These all seem like abstract concepts. Trust me, they come into play in your paintings and drawings. They are so important, especially in the drawings and sketches. You can see this. A confidence line can be spotted. An unconfident, non-confident line can be spotted as well. My computer is making noises, sorry about that. If you draw a line confidently, it will show. If you draw the entire sketch with confident lines, it will show. You will feel differently about it as well. Okay, so it's not just abstract concepts. And I will share in a moment, I have one of my oldest sketchbooks here, and if we compare it to today's sketches, you will see what I'm talking about. Okay, so when I first made the switch from pencil to pen, it was maybe about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Until then I was really heavy on the pencil, and I just started feeling like I can really draw these lines much better, and the way I can get stuff on the first go and have them accurate and have them conform to the perspective and have them look realistic, all sorts of things that just develop. This has been my personal experience with it, and everything you see that I do in terms of the spontaneous sketches is a result of that. So how does this actually happen? How is this change made? What happens like under the hood? So what I think happens is when you work with a pen, you have to let go of all of your inhibitions. You kind of just have to go for it. You know that if you're gonna mess up, you can't really correct things. And in the beginning it's very frightening, but then the more you do it, the more you start to just not care. You may not improve, but you care less. You're like, meh, okay. Now, the less you care, and this is a paradox that's very interesting actually. The more you care about stuff, sometimes you mess them up. On the other hand, if you don't care about something at all, you'll probably not succeed in it. Okay, so it's a very thin, tightrope to walk on, because on the one hand you don't want to care too much, because if you care too much you'll be too stifled and you won't get the things to look the way you want. But if you don't care at all, you just won't put the effort. Okay, but what I'm talking about is a healthy amount of not caring, because you just know that this is it, the line's gonna be there, and the way it's gonna be is the way it's gonna be. Okay, so this is basically what happened for me. I got used to getting things with one line and getting them perfectly. Now in the beginning it wasn't the case, and let me show you some sketches, and be patient with me. Some of these are bad. So you see this is supposed to be a motorcycle. This is, I don't know, like 2 years ago maybe. Now I wasn't that bad 2 years ago, but the switch to pen directly, just like what I'm going through now with watercolor painting, is a new learning curve for me. The same thing is going on here. Look at that. And you can see it's so sketchy and it's so scribbly. Let me give you a better look at it. It's just, look at it. Now, next one, let's look at, this is just a building, it's not that interesting. You see this, like a tire shop kind of thing in the street where I used to live. Now, this is an improvement because you get the feeling, the way it looks. But if you take a close look, you can see, especially here, all the tires are very sketched, scribbly. Look at this line here. Look at this line here. It's very non-graceful. Now this is a style in its own right, but what I was aiming for was a little different. So this is perfectly fine. By the way, this is an old sketchbook. I will give you a a more comprehensive tour of that. Okay, I do want you to see more of this sketchbook, but now I'm just using it to convey the concept, because a lot of you say, well, can you give more examples? You're a little too verbose. So there you go. So this one is another example of that. This one, look at that. This one is, I love it. It looks beautiful. Look how scribbly it is. Look at all those pen lines. Look at this. Here, you see all of these lines, it's so raw. Now, if you like this style, this is fantastic. If you like to work in this style, it's also fantastic. For me, I was looking for a cleaner approach. You know what, let me get a more recent sketchbook and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I did give you a tour of this sketchbook, but this one you didn't see, I believe, because I did it after the tour, because I had one page left. This is the style I'm aiming for now. Now, it's still quite messy and full of cross-hatching, but if you look at the quality of the individual lines, check out this tree here. You can see that it's much more graceful. One line, one go, and it's there, and it's perfect. You see? Take a look at this. Also, scribbly, yes. But one line, look at the details, just get them in there in one line, using one line, okay? So hopefully you can see the difference between the two. And this I got only when I ditched the pencil for a while and worked with the pen. In fact, I got so addicted to working with pen that I just kept at it. And this is what developed to be my style right now, the spontaneous sketches. Okay, so I hope the message of this video is clear. I hope it didn't get lost with all of my ramblings. Basically, when you ditch the pencil for a while, you work just with the pen, it's going to be scary, it's going to be hard, it's going to be counterintuitive. A lot of people will tell you it's not the proper way to do this, because people have an idea of what's the proper way to do stuff. You know, just if this is something you feel like you want to get, do it. And I just mentioned something that I didn't cover. I said that it improves this skill, but also other skills. So the other skills I'm referring to is, let's say after a while you go back to this lovely tool called pencil. You go back to this pencil, you do it, you will find that your lines with the pencil are much better because you got used to getting things in the first line. And I see this as a very common beginner's mistake, that you just sketch everything with many short lines. And I did this too. If you check out my older videos, I did this too. But now, because I worked really extensively and really, what's the word for it? Anyway, because I worked so much with the pen, when I went back to the pencil, my instinct was, if I can get it in one line, why not? Let's not make it super scribbly for no reason, okay? So this is what I wanted to talk to you about today, the benefits of working with a pen directly. Now, of course, you can use guidelines if you need to understand how to draw a specific structure. If you just don't want to mess up the proportions or things like this. This is the macro level. Macro level is great to plan out. On the micro level of the lines, practice, trust me, try it. Just with a pen, see where it takes you. It's going to be hard, it's going to be challenging, it's going to be scary, but you will enjoy it and you will improve all of your skills together with it, even your brush skills, even if you're painting, okay? So anyway, this is it. My message for you today is this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you still haven't. Follow me on Snapchat and Instagram for more personal updates and filters and cute stuff, and I will see you again in another video tomorrow.